Yo, what's up, everybody? All right, so today I want to talk about this topic. Like you're seeing that some DC fans and Transformer fans fear quality. With that being said, I want to break it down. I want to talk about this because I want to be real with y'all, like I always am. I was watching, some comments and reading some comments here and there, and you see that there's a pattern when it comes to when I talk about certain things in this fandom. And it's strange, but at the same time, it's interesting just because some fans feel that they have some type of entitlement and they feel that their opinion is the one that it's supposed to be. And you have to accept it. You have to bend the knee for them. Look, I'm going to tell you straight up, I don't bend the knee for nobody. I stand firm with what I say. And whoever gets offended, so be it. I'm going to keep it straight up like I always do. And when it comes to some DC fans, not all of them, but some of them, along with Transformers fans, they can be a little bit anal. And what do I mean by that? That I get it. They have, they're very picky when it comes to certain things, but sometimes these fans are not real fans because they call themselves real fans and they consider themselves real fans. Yes, they're still fans, but it all has to be divided. Look, when I say and I tell people, look, restore the Snyderverse, some people have a problem with it. When I say restore the Bayverse, they still have a problem with it. It's like, yo, like that's what I'm talking about. That's what I, enjoy and what I like. A lot of fans do also. And it's pretty wild how some people come at me and they think that they can impose their thought or their belief and say, hey, look, you're not a fan because you don't want to accept where it's going. What? Like that doesn't like that completely throws me off course. What's going on, Ace? Appreciate you for watching. Everybody that's tuning in and stuff like that. It's just look. I just finished watching David Ayer's. Of course, it's not the what is it, the Ayer cut, but the extended version. And when I watched this movie, there was something that I was really thinking about. I paid attention real good to it, and I was like, "Yo, WB and DC, they were onto something." And of course, it was greatness. It was all connected, and it's just seeing the cameos, from some members of the Justice League, like you saw with the Flash, you see with Ben Affleck's Batman. It's just setting up things where I was like, damn, the possibilities would have been amazing and things would have been much more better than where they are right now. What's up, Jack? Appreciate you for watching. Piero, what's up? Appreciate y'all for watching. Also, it's crazy. Yeah, I heard about that. To the that the actor died and stuff like that, man. Terrorist stamp. It sucks, man. But that's where we're at right now. Unfortunately, that's just life. But it's crazy because look, I'm gonna be real with y'all. Look, I'm a Transformers fan, but I'm also a DC fan. Now, when I talk about certain things, and it's about, hey, look, I enjoy what Zack Snyder gave us. I like the old DCEU. I prefer that more. Some fans have, a hard time accepting that, and then they want to come here to the comment section and they want to run their mouth, type on the keyboard, and they're all big and bad. But look, I'm gonna tell you straight up, I don't support James Gunn, and the same way like that, I don't support what after Michael Bay when it comes to the cinematic universe they were doing. Let's be honest. After Michael Bay with the Transformers brand is just like DC. It's just gone down straight up down the toilet. And you can't come at me and tell me, "Oh, with Michael Bay it was doing bad." No, it wasn't because at the box office they were making money. They were making so much money and it's just not for everybody. But now when you think about it, the studios should have just kept going what they had going on. They should have just let the directors fully complete their vision and then go do whatever the hell they want to do. WB's in a situation right now that it's completely a circus. That's it. That's the only way you can describe it as. And the Transformers brand, when it comes to their, live action films, it's a joke. It really is. It's pretty nuts, but like it's like, yo, you have to learn one way or the other financially. All right, let's see. People try to be nice. Superman, James Gunn's DC. That's stupid. Yeah, it's completely stupidity. What's up to everybody? I see y'all. Appreciate y'all for watching. Everybody for tuning in and stuff like that. Kyle Weaver, what's up? How's your Sunday? Been chilling. Can't complain today. I just literally finished watching Suicide Squad from the DCEU, the extended version, extended cut, whatever the hell it's called. But I'm just here thinking. Okay, you know what it is? when it comes to some of the DC fans and the Transformers fan, and I'm both. I'm both. I love both brands. Is that they fear quality. That's the fear. You have these James Gunn cultists that they will settle for anything, and they're just generic. They like basic, and they like all this stupidity and all this raunchiness, and things just get worse. Just they're completely getting more and more stupid. The Transformers brand is the same thing. Look, I like G1, I like G2, I like the Bavers, I like everything. It doesn't mean I'm gonna support everything. And the problem with the Transformers fan, with the community, the same like DC, is when I say, "Hey, I want more of Michael Bay," it's like, "Oh, I just hit the trigger button," and you know, you got some of them they get pissed because they're like, "Oh, Michael Bay never understood Transformers. He never, it's never close to the source material." Yo, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. I'm a Transformers fan and I like G1. I'm a DC fan and I like what DC does. Not everything, but when it comes to the cinematic universe, I like what they were doing. Keyword, they were doing, not what they're doing right now. Because right now it's just pure stupidity. You know, it's gone so off course that they don't even know what they're doing. Both brands, you know, like DC and Transformers. And you have what I call the G whiners, you know, also known as the G1 fans. And if you get insulted or you get disrespected by that, that's you. That's all on you. Because if you don't got thick skin, I don't know what to tell you straight up. It's just crazy how some fans love to talk down on what Michael Bay did, but yet Michael Bay's movies made money at the box office. Zack Snyder's movies made money at the box office. Hell, David Ayer with Suicide Squad made more money than what James Gunn's shitty Superman is doing right now. And that's what they fear. They fear that. These so-called fans, you know, like I like to say, these fake fans, are the ones that are ruining the brands. They're ruining these IPs because they will settle for anything. And I'm already starting to see it's not that they're fans, because it's like I said, they're all fake fans. It's that they want to push an agenda. With James Gunn, they're pushing an agenda. Straight up. After Michael Bay, what they were doing with the Transformers brand, I don't care what you tell me. They're pushing agendas out there. All type of agendas. And people are tired of that. They're just, you know, like, I'm done with that. This is why people want good quality movies. Michael Bay delivered with quality movies. Zack Snyder delivered with quality movies. David Ayer delivered with that one movie of Suicide Squad, but he still delivered quality. And when you look at that compared to where they are right now, I see why from the beginning, once James Gunn came on board to do the Suicide Squad, that's why he screwed everything up by renaming it the Suicide Squad, because it's all about what he wants to do and what he wants to erase, if you want to say. And then the same thing with all these directors that came after Michael Bay. The same thing. Oh, let's do a soft reboot. Let's do another reboot. Dude, you just had two reboots. Oh, let's go with another reboot. It ain't work. It didn't work. When it comes to Transformers, G1, they sell. Okay, that's good. They sell. That's in the toy market. That's in the collector's market. But in the movies, people didn't show up for them. They didn't go out to support Bumblebee. Not enough people went out there. Rise of the Beast, the same thing. And then, of course, we had, unfortunately, that shitty movie, Transformers 1. And I get it. Some people get offended, get mad because I didn't like it. I didn't like it. It wasn't for me. That's it. So what? Cry me a river, go kick rocks somewhere else. Look, with Michael Bay, DC, I mean, not DC, Paramount, they were in a better situation financially where they were making money. And that's what the studio needs. You know, like, they need money in the end. It's all about making money. If you're in this industry not to make money, you're in it for the wrong reason. And WB, the same thing too. They look, it's crazy how their stocks don't go up just because they don't listen to us, the fans, and they don't cater to us. They don't give us what we want. They think they know what's best for business. But in reality, they have no clue. You know, it's like, yo, you just have to cater to the fans, not all of the fans, because you can't. You just cannot. But it's showing you when you have your company down with these numbers, it's telling you, hey, something isn't working. And I think now Hasbro, along with Paramount, have finally come to their senses and said, you know what? Instead of us making money, we're losing money. What was working? Oh, it didn't work with three different directors. Our Transformers IP is down to the ground. What do we do? Oh, how about we just go back to what was working with Michael Bay? And now with the merger that they did with Skydance, yo, it's all about making money. Same thing with WB. James Gunn knows that his days are numbered at WB. He knows it. His contract, once it expires next year, I'm telling you right now, there is no renewing that contract. And if WB renews the contract, it's just like them saying, you know what, we might as well just go bankrupt, because nothing with James Gunn is bringing the money. He's making the money. He's pocketing the money. He's taking all that money that he has been doing while he's been CEO. Where is the financial part that they're making a success? There's none. There's just none. And that's why you have all these James Gunn cultists and these G whiners crying and complaining all that, with Zack Snyder, it didn't work. They made more money than where they are right now. Oh, that they didn't understand the source material. When you compare it side by side with artwork and stuff, they were true to the source. It doesn't have to be 100% accurate. Like, you see some fans that they're like, oh, certain video game live action adaptations is not true to the source. So you're going to come and tell me that the Super Mario Brother movie that wasn't actually true to the video game, because it wasn't, they did a different thing. Oh, that's not true to the source. I mean, yo, I love what they did. And that's the same thing with Transformers and what they're doing also with DC. DC, you have these fake fans that are like, oh, we want what they're giving us with Peacemaker. Why? That's not even working. Nobody's even watching that crap. Superman is proven to you. And you can see the desperation that the studio and James Gunn and all these James Gunn cultists are. They're all just trying to push and promote their agenda. Whatever it is, and that's what it is. They won't accept that they lost. They lost with Superman. Not enough people are interested in that. They've lost a lot of money, and they keep on fabricating these fake numbers. Meanwhile, you have Jurassic World that's already passed literally 800 and what, like they're almost up to 900 million. But you don't hear the mainstream media talk about that because it's not convenient for them. Again, because you have all these fake critics and you have all these fake fans out there that all they want is just like politics. They want to push an agenda, and people are sick and tired of it. I don't know about y'all, but I am sick and tired of it. I do not want no agendas, period. That whole woke, all that shit is over. It's done. If you look at the industry now, they're cleaning house. All right? I'm not going to get into politics. I'm not going to talk about none of that stuff. But if you keep up to date with the news, you would see that they're removing all that trash. And that's what it is. It's trash. That's what's ruined these brands. When you have with Transformers that they try to go woke, you don't believe me? Go look into it. And when they try to turn that character into this thing, into the other thing, yo, fans got pissed. And they were like, nah, I'm turning away from it. And I understand it. And that's the same thing with DC. DC's doing the same thing. They're going woke. Peacemaker confessing and saying, yo, that he's gonna be bi. Come on, yo. Why do I'm not watching it. I'm just not watching it. That's it. That's why these fake fans fear quality. Because you can't push agendas in quality. And that's what it is. It's like politics. They just want to destroy these brands. That's what it's coming down to. All these fake James Gunn cultist fans, they're not real DC fans. They're just fake fans pretending to be fans. And then they're out there saying, oh, and, inflating the numbers and saying, oh, they're making so much money at the box office. No, you're not. No, you're not. You're losing money at the box office. You're chanting a victory and you haven't even gone to the finish line. And it's ridiculous. But at the same time, they're self-destructing and they're bringing their own IPs down. That's why, I was like, you know what? After watching these movies, now I just finished watching Suicide Squad, the one from the DCEU, now with James Gunn. I'm gonna go watch now Dark of the Moon because hell, whatever. And I enjoy what Michael Bay gave us. That's why, like I said, I posted that video today, and people have been talking, just within the community and stuff, that, oh, I don't know what I'm talking about. Why? Because you got triggered because Michael Bay's actually coming back. You're getting triggered because I'm still talking about restore the Snyderverse. You're getting triggered because that's quality. That's what you're scared of. That's what it's showing to me. All these fake fans are just scared of quality. They can't handle quality. All they want is generic, basic bullshit. And then when you have all this mediocrity going around and everything is just basic and it's just, yo, throw a joke here, but, put an R-rated label. It's like, come on. That's not selling. People are not dumb. They're not buying it. This is why you're seeing the merchandise is not selling. The sales are not selling. And everything when it comes to it, because there's no quality. That's the problem. And now, like I said, that this whole woke and agenda era is finally passing because the industry is changing. It's shifting. If you look at it, things are shifting. They're getting tired of it. And they're shifting to what was making money. This is why you're seeing ads of Sydney Sweeney freaking, everybody's triggered about that. But who's triggered about that? The fake people in the industry. You know, the ones that had agendas are the ones that are getting triggered. They're trying to quote unquote cancel, but in the end they're the ones getting canceled now because nobody cares about that. When you have people crying and complaining about a jean ad, it's telling you everything because you have a hot, beautiful chick marketing to the right crowd. That's it. And before that, the nonsense was out of control. It was nonstop crazy with all the ridiculous ads and everything that they were trying to push and promote with their agendas. People don't want that. People just want good quality. And that's what Hollywood fears. That's what these fake fans fear. They don't want quality. They just want generic garbage that's like, you know what? Oh, that's considered quality. No, it's not. It's not selling. That's the point. It's not selling. You know, these videos when I post them, that's another thing too that's interesting. I had spoke not too long ago. Y'all remember I posted that video of why they need to restore the Bayverse, and I still keep on talking about the Snyderverse to both companies, DC and WB. I mean, DC and Transformers, and I tag them. You know, when I make the videos about it, and it's interesting how now that rumor's going around that they want to bring in the old cast, and then they want to bring in, you know, whatever it is that they want to do and pick up where things left off. But then people call me out and say, "Oh no, that I don't know what I'm talking about," and then that these actors and actresses are too old to reprise their role. Hold on, let me stop some of y'all. How are you gonna come and tell me that these actors and actresses are too old? Are you not keeping up with the news? Are you not keeping up with what's going on? If Michael Keaton, at the age of what, like 70, 71, he came back after like what, 30, 32 years to put the cape and cowl and reprise his role as Batman in a movie and in a universe that he was never part of when The Flash came out, because the Batman of that timeline is Ben Affleck. You're going to tell me that it's acceptable to say, you know what, Michael Keaton's, you know, he's a geriatric and he's straight up almost about to be 75. That's okay, right? He's kicking ass as Batman. But that's okay, right? You pick and choose what battle you want to go at it. But then you don't like the facts. And the fact is that Michael Keaton was old and he came back and there's no problem. That's acceptable, right? Oh, but screw me because I want Ben Affleck that's still like what, 50 something, under 60, to come back and put the cape and cowl and fight and kick ass. Oh, Megan Fox is too old to reprise her role as, you know, Michaela in the Transformers movie, or Mark Wahlberg or Shia LaBeouf. Come on, come on, come on. Let's be real. Don't pick and choose how you're gonna come at me and what you're gonna say. These actors and actresses are ready to come back. All right, sure, I get it. Shia LaBeouf has had problems with Michael Bay and the drama in the industry. Same thing like Megan Fox. Oh, but they didn't squash the, you know, they're still at it. No, they're not. She came back for the last live action movie of, you know, TMNT. So that was under Michael Bay. He didn't direct it, but he was producing it. And there's pictures, I looked it up, that they're together in the pictures promoting it and stuff. So they squashed whatever they had. See what I'm saying? This industry and these fake fans in general, you know? If you consider yourself as a fake fan and you get triggered by that, that's you. That's your problem, not me. I'm just saying how I'm seeing it. They're the reason why this industry is where it's at right now. Because they can't accept quality. They don't like to see all of this, you know, like, that's good in the sense of, oh, that's going to make the fans happy. And it's happening with everything in the industry. You're having the video game industry. What hasn't EA done? What hasn't all these corporations and companies done? You know, and it's just showing you, yo, people are fed up with this. People do not want this type of quality. They want good quality. And when you don't give them that, that's what happens. You know, it's like you have to cater to the fans and you have to cater to the audience, the real type of entertainment that you want. You know, it's like you can't just, oh, you know, give them what they want and that's it. No, you have to actually listen to your audience and give them what they truly want and what they've been requesting and what they've been asking for and stuff like that. But when you have what they're doing right now, it's just complete, like, there's no words. I'm just in shock, you know? And it's like I'm telling y'all, what they fear is quality. Quality is what these James Gunn cultists fear. The same thing with these G whiners. They cannot comprehend and accept quality. To me, I don't care if these characters are not comic book accurate. Oh, they're not true to the source. It doesn't matter. I'm good with it. You get what I'm saying? Like, it's fine by me. I don't have a problem. But some of these fake fans just can't accept that. That's why when Zach was there and David Ayer were there, the level of quality that they were doing, that they were giving us, was much better than what it is now. Everything with James Gunn, this Superman is not my Superman. It's a joke. Lex Luthor is a joke. Lois Lane is a joke. Everything that James Gunn is cooking right now is just bland, no flavor, no style, nothing original. It's just copy and paste, but he's doing it under this James Gunn version, which is trash. It's trash. Everything has been going downhill, and everything since the beginning has always been with James Gunn about what can I erase? Because what he did in the Suicide Squad, first of all, that movie flopped. Second, what he did with with the characters and what he did with these, the cast and stuff like that. It's like, yo, like, come on, this is bad. And where they are right now, it's even worse. And what's to come, it's gonna be even worse. You know, and the studio has to understand, hey, look, fans are fed up. They're just fed up. They just want quality. And I don't know what's so hard with them to give us quality. It's like there's some type of force that's like, you know what? Nah, we can't cater to the fans. We can't give them what they want. We got to screw them every way possible. And that's why these companies go down. And it's happening to Marvel. Marvel for a while has been going with this whole woke agenda. And look at how bad they're doing. They're not making the numbers that they used to be for. They used to be on top. Now they're not. DC, what? Okay, so they won against Fantastic Four. That doesn't qualify them to be like, hey, look, they're winning against them. They're also doing bad, you know? And unfortunately, the Transformers brand has also been doing bad. And that sucks because it affects all of us. It's not just one, it affects all of us in every fandom, you know? Because I go out there to watch these movies, play these games, read these comics because I want to get away from reality. We all want to unplug from real life. We want to, get our mind into whatever entertainment that we're watching, we're playing, we're reading, whatever it is, and connect with those characters. And for some reason, these studios, they just don't care. They're like, well, we're going to give them what we think is best for them. And it's not working. That's the problem with them. And then you had these fake fans trying to push and promote an agenda and trying to force you to accept that their point of view is the only point of view. And it's like, yo, it doesn't work like that. Like, you don't see me going to other channels and bashing on them because, hey, I want you to accept what I'm pushing, what I'm thinking. No, yo, like, I'll watch the video, but I don't have to comment. See what I'm saying? Or like, I don't have to watch the video, vice versa. And it's crazy how like some people come into here knowing that I don't support James Gunn. They know it. I've been vocal about it. I don't know how much more I had to put out there. I think I had to like fly a banner or something and say, hey, look, I do not support James Gunn, period. Deal with it. And it just pisses them off. It's just like, you can't do that. You have to accept James Gunn. The hell do I do? No, I don't. You see what I'm saying? And it's the same thing with the Transformers. It's like, I like what Michael Bay gave us, and I want more of it. Some fans just can't accept that. And it's like, oh, it's not G1 accurate. I don't give a damn. It doesn't have to be. Oh, it's not true to the source. I don't care. I love what he's given us. It's much more better than what we've gotten before. And it's proven by now. Both studios, WB with the DC IP, with everything that has to do with DC, the same thing with Transformers, right? With Paramount, Transformers, IP and all that stuff. They both are pretty much the same right now. But the only difference is with this rumor going around, especially with the merger with Skydance, it's like they're finally getting their shit together and they're like, you know what? We want to make money. Yeah, because if you don't make money, guess what's going to happen? Your ass is going to go up for sale, and then somebody else is going to buy you up with money, and then you're going to have to see how you could have had, your IP, like what Marvel is doing right now, that they still don't even have their Spider-Man. They still have to lease it from Sony, and that's their own IP. It's ridiculous. That's how bad it was with Fox in the 90s, and they had to buy out Fox just so they can get back their X-Men. And DC's on the same route. And if, the Transformers brand keeps it up, they're going to be on the same route because they have until 2029 to put out movies, live actions, and whatever the hell they have to do to save the IP. And it's like, yo, y'all need to do what's going to make you money. And at this point, it's already proven. With Michael Bay, they were making money. DC, with the Snyderverse, they were making money. The only problem is that the studio kept on getting in the way. They don't get in the way for James Gunn. Oh, that's not, oh no, James Gunn could do whatever the hell he wants. There's no interference, right? Oh, but screw us because because Zack Snyder and David Ayer wants to do something. Oh no, we can't have that because then he's gonna deliver quality. Come on, man. Come on. Let's be real. No wonder your company is going downhill. And for that, I'm I applaud the fans that are keeping their wallets locked because it's showing you, you know what, in everything, Marvel, DC, video games, everything. Because we've had enough. Fans are tired of it. Fans all over the world are sick and tired of all this generic nonsense that they're trying to shove down our throats to accept. Oh, like, oh, you want to make a quick cash grab, but you don't want to deliver quality. It doesn't work like that. You have to give us what we want. Then we'll keep on coming back. You've made us a customer, consumer, and stuff like that. And for years, we've been straight up supporting them. But now seeing this, like I said yesterday, like when it comes to DC, this is where I get off, where I step off. Like I'm done. I'm done. But I still keep on talking about it and still calling them out for the mess that they're doing and creating and stuff like that. And at the rate that we're going, yeah, you're right, Pedro. They're gonna be forced to give us the Snyder verse back because they're gonna have to learn the hard way. They've already learned financially that it's not working with them. They know that James Gunn isn't making the money. He's been costing them more than I'm sure the Snyder verse was. And some people are probably gonna be like, oh yeah, but they had to invest more money on the Snyder cut. That's WB's fault. That's not Zack Snyder's fault. Because when Zack stepped away, WB could have just said, you know what? We're going to pause. We're going to wait till Zack is good and he could come back and we'll continue. But no, greedy as WB had to bring in Joss Whedon. And they thought that Joss Whedon, because he made so much money with the Avengers, was going to do the same thing with Justice League. And we saw the mess that created. And look at how bad it is. Compared to what it is, it's just gotten worse. And they thought by bringing in James Gunn, oh, James Gunn's the savior, right? Like he's some type of prophet that was supposed to be, coming and to save the company. It's just so ridiculous. It's completely nuts. Words don't even have to describe how it's just the level of insanity when it comes to these James Gunn cultists. And but then they label us that we're a cult. What, just because we like Zack Snyder's movies? That makes us a cultist? Doesn't make sense, right? And as a Zack Snyder fan, I don't like everything that Zack Snyder put out there. I didn't like Army of the Dead. So what? That doesn't make me more or less of a fan. I just didn't like it. That's it. It just, for me, it just didn't do it. And some people love it. All right, cool. But I did like Dawn of the Dead. And some of y'all might be like, oh, but James Gunn was involved in it. Yeah, he was involved in it, but his story got rewritten by somebody else. So it still got edited. So they had to improve of it. You see what I'm saying? And it's crazy. And the same thing when it comes to Transformers. You have the fans saying, oh, but it's not accurate to what the G1 source material. And I love what Michael Bay did. I love all that alien technology, all that craziness, silliness, all that ridiculous transformation. It worked. I want more of it, because they don't like that. They don't like to be called out, knowing that that's what a lot of people want. And again, the numbers don't lie. People went out there, they enjoyed it, and straight up. Have you seen, what is it? Seen a guy trolling? Yeah, there's a lot of people out there trolling, but I'm gonna be honest with you, I don't even waste my time with that no more. Like it's like once you fall down that rabbit hole, it's just like more and more. So I'm like, nah, I'm cool. Like it's just too much. Um, James gonna want to do DC for service. Yeah, he's not doing no type of service whatsoever to the brand. He's just damaging the brand more than what it is. And the studios they're gonna have to learn the hard way. That's why I don't see that once James Gunn's contract is up, that they're gonna renew it. The same thing with Peter Safran. They're just gonna wait for that thing to expire, and they're gonna be like, you know what? Now we're just gonna go back to what was working because what Hasbro's doing right now, I got to tell you straight up, those are big balls what they're doing. If they want to bring back Michael Bay to direct and do more Transformers movies, because they're realizing, hey, at least with Michael Bay, we were making money, I know for sure they wish they were making that money right now, because the studio's been suffering with all those flops that they've been having, both WB and Paramount. So now with the merger that they did with Skydance, who knows what the hell's gonna come from it? But everything is about money. If you tell the actors and the actresses, hey, look, we want you to come back, we'll pay what you want, boom. When these studios could have just done that from the beginning. You shouldn't have to go back, literally, and try to fix what you screwed up. Because straight up, this is all the screw ups from the studio themselves. You had WB that right now we could have been done with the Snyderverse. Let's be real. Right now we could have been done with the Snyderverse. We would have had Justice League 2, 3, Ben Affleck's Batman, Man of Steel 2. Who knows what else was gonna come from it. But the studio, they kept on getting in the way, screwing things up. But it's okay for James Gunn to do what he wants. There's no interference. That's the bullshit that I say. You know what? That's just bullshit. You let James Gunn do what he wants, you don't get in his way, and you're still losing money. And you still love to blame the Snyderverse community. And it shows you that's how powerful we are because they're like, oh, well, it's because of those Snyder fans. And it's not because it's us. It's just, it's just, we left that impact in the industry of quality when it comes to it, but they don't accept that. They don't want to, admit to what their failures are and stuff like that. And it's crazy because it just shows you, hey, you should just continue with what was working, but instead y'all decided to go, the other route, and that's not working. So by them going back to try to fix their mess right now of what it was before, they brought this upon themselves. They could have avoided it, but they just chose not to. And you reap what you sow. That's all it is. It's crazy. It's completely insane. And for them to do what they're doing, it's like, you know what? I give you props. You guys are bringing back Michael Bay after all these years. Where it's been like almost 8 years, I think, that he hasn't been there. Well, when it comes to the directing, because I know that he's producing and stuff like that, but in the director's seat, it's like, yo, you should have just continued years ago, and we wouldn't be in this mess. Now, when you look back in history, you're gonna be like, what the hell happened during that timeline? It's just a whole screw up. And then for them to go back and fix it, it's like you could have just avoided all that headache from the beginning. Let these directors do what they wanted to do, how they wanted to do it, and you wouldn't be in this situation. But unfortunately, that's what happens and stuff like that. Sean, what up? Vegeta, what up? I see y'all. Let me see. Is your comic going to be in color? The first issue is not going to be. It's just gonna be black and white. Maybe later as things pick up, and like I'll be able to, like, probably later on hire people and stuff like that, because it's just too much work. But right now it's just gonna be black and white. Just keeping it old school, traditional, like manga and stuff like that. So I'll keep it like that and stuff. Mr. Terrific look like Power Rangers costume. Yeah, so generic. Everything is generic, honestly. The Snyderverse wasn't working. It was working, and that's why WB let James Gunn work on the DC future, and it's not working with James Gunn. Unfortunately, it just really isn't working with James Gunn. So when I get it, when some of you fans are like, "Oh, let James Gunn cook." We've let him cook so long. The Suicide Squad was bad. Peacemaker was bad. Creature Commandos was terrible. Now Superman, super flop. What else do you want to keep on proving? It's not working with James Gunn. Period. It's just not. And he's gonna keep on putting out whatever the hell he wants until his regime ends, meaning until his contract comes to an end next year. But I'm being honest with you. I'm not watching Peacemaker season 2. I'm just not. That's not for me. And after the same thing with the Transformers, like, I haven't been keeping up with nothing. Like, I saw the last 3 films. I wasn't even gonna see Transformers 1 because I was like, yeah, this is straight up this for kids and stuff. Like, it just wasn't for me either. And I was like, I saw it, I was like, all right, whatever. But I'm like, I want more what Michael Bay gave us. And again, it's the studio. The studios are the ones that screw themselves completely. Zack Snyder, what is it? Zack's DCU was a success. Exactly, it was a success. And then you have some fans, which is the minority, that they try to justify and say no, that it didn't work. It did work. It made much more money than where they are right now. And yeah, straight up is a factual flop. Yeah, the TV shows. That's another reason why I'm not surprised that David Zaslav is selling those assets. Because it's just quick money for him. I think in the end, David Zaslav's just gonna be like, you know what, things are going down, and if they don't restore the Snyderverse, they're just gonna have to sell the company, everything, and it's just gonna be a disaster, even more than what it is right now. It's really gonna be completely nuts. Um, if it's not from the DCU, I'm not interested. What, you only interested in the James Gunn stuff? Hire for tomato, hire for tomatoes for James Gunn. He's losers. Yeah, like it's just wild. When you see these big IP companies where they are right now, because it's like, yo, what the hell? Like, like look, like after watching right now Suicide Squad, the one from the extended cut, like I see the difference between that and the Suicide Squad. Clearly, you could see that James Gunn just wanted to erase everything that was there before him, just so it can be like, oh, it's all about James Gunn, and look at where he's at right now, trying to erase everything from the Snyderverse, and it just completely shows me that everything since the beginning with James Gunn has always been like a parody. It's just been a joke after another joke. He doesn't take these things serious. Everything to him is just comedy. And even though we got what we got with this extended cut, Studio Squad, like I like to call, um, is entertaining. It's not the best, it's not perfect, but I see what David Ayer was saying when he did those interviews, that in the end WB turned his movie into a comedy. And it is. You could see it. And then when I looked at it, I was like, okay, take away this, take away that. It's a good movie. Like I see it. I'm like, the cinematography is good, the casting is well, everything is good. Besides some, the jokes and the music that they put in and stuff like that. And I'm like, you can clearly see that's WB. That's just WB playing typical games. Hey, we want to be like Marvel, and it didn't work for them. It didn't work with them, and they thought by bringing in James Gunn doing the Suicide Squad was gonna work, and that did even worse. That did even worse, and it showed you. That's why when that movie came out, we called it. We were like, "Yo, this is the beginning of the end." It's like this is what he's going to bring with Superman, and that's what he brought. He brought all this generic, basic trash that nobody's interested, nobody wants it, and in the end, just people are just not. They're just not eating it up, and then they're creating all these fake numbers and saying, yeah, that's what people want, that's what they're, like they've been waiting for. Nah, nah, it's just there's so much that you can BS the fans that they just get fed up and say, you know what, we're on to you, and enough is enough. Like people just want good quality. It's, yeah, just like Steppenwolf. So begins the end. Yeah, it's completely nuts. Got the Korobukiya's MX. What? Oh, the X2 figure. Nice, nice, nice. Yeah. Did you get the one with the blast effect? Cause I don't have that one. I just got the regular one. Did you hear about James Gunn's Batman movie in development? Yeah, they've been talking about that for a while, but I don't think that's gonna end up happening. Not from here to like his contract is about to end. He has to do that probably within the next month, if anything. And even like that, it still won't. The production on a movie takes way too long. Andy Muschietti's rude been uh rude to Ben Affleck and Michael and Ezra. Yeah, Andy Muschietti's another clown too. I'm gonna tell y'all straight up. Andy Muschietti, he's another troll just like James Gunn, and that's what James Gunn likes to hire. He likes to hire people that are just like him with ego and very sarcastic. That's who Andy Muschietti is also. His first It movie was alright. It wasn't all that. It was alright. I still like the original one. And It Too was trash. That movie was straight trash. And that Welcome to Perry or wherever the thing is, I'm just not interested. I didn't even check it out because I'm like, that doesn't even catch my attention. And notice that they haven't even been promoting that. Um, yeah, I'm a fan of RoboCop. I don't mind. RoboCop's pretty cool. Yeah, hopefully they do another one. It's been overdue for a long time and stuff like that. But who knows? Who knows what the hell's gonna happen with that IP also? Like all these studios have it and stuff. So who knows what the hell? Um, yeah, the second one is a disappointment. Yeah, yeah, completely. But yeah, it's pretty wild. It's pretty nuts when it comes down to all this with this entertainment business, if you want to say. And no wonder these studios are losing money. And this is why you see that they are in this condition because again, they don't want to cater to the fans, to the real fans that've been there since day one. You just can't put out something that people are going to be like, "Oh, I'm going to eat it up and I'm going to accept it." No, you have to actually give people what they truly want, how they want. You can't just come at them and be like, this is what we're just gonna serve you up and deal with it. No, because then people are gonna keep their wallets closed, and it's telling you everything of where they're standing and stuff like that. The RoboCop series, I never saw it, so I'm not familiar with it. Yeah, the '90s they ruled. The '90s were badass. They weren't afraid of anything, and that's the entertainment that I like. Honestly, like don't hold back. Just put it how it's meant to be. Who cares who gets offended? This is why, like I've been telling y'all, like I'm working on my comic. I know it's not for everybody. I don't plan on making it for everybody. I plan on making it, hell, even if it's for one person that buys it, I don't care. It's still to me a lot. It means a lot because it's like, yo, that one person is the one that's interested in. That's what's gonna motivate me to keep on going. But when you have these studios that they're like, yo, we could be giving quality, but they don't care and they just want to shortcut and half-ass products and put things out there just because they want to make a quick dollar. I mean, yo, you're lying to us, like straight up. This is why I'm doing what I'm doing in my comic. I'm gonna keep it straight up, like it's supposed to be, with my true vision. And whoever likes it and whoever enjoys it, good. Like there's more to come. And this is the beginning of something new, and I can't wait. I can't wait to finally be able, and we'll be talking about it and stuff like that. And the same way we're talking about DC, that we talk about Transformers, we talk about everything, we'll be talking about that also, because like I'm telling y'all, that's what this industry fears. They fear quality. And when they have content creators like me and other people out here giving and delivering good quality, they don't like that. They get scared of it. You become all of a sudden a target because, oh, damn, you're actually catering to the fans and the consumers. Yeah, that's what this industry is about. You have to give them what they want. They don't want this, they don't want that, but they want this and they want that. You got to give it to them. You have to give it to them. And once you call it from the beginning, you can't go back and say, oh, well, we're going to do this and we're going to do that, but we're going to backtrack it. The same like with James Gunn. We already know that James Gunn's full of it. We know that everything he says is a lie. And the studio has to deal with it, until his contract is up. But they're gonna have to learn, and they're learning the financial way right now. So, yeah, for sure, a lot of people are starting to say that Supergirl's going to flop. That right there, yeah, it's not gonna do that good at the box office. I'm telling y'all straight up, that's straight up gonna hurt them. And if you think Superman was bad, get ready because Supergirl's gonna be even worse than what that is. Um, yeah, it's gonna be nuts. I think Robert Pattinson is for Nolan movies playing Batman, ain't it? Yeah, yeah. Robert Pattinson just didn't do it for me. Like I just wasn't feeling him. I don't like that whole Matt Reeves universe. It's just not for me, honestly. We've already seen that with the Nolan verse, but Matt Reeves is just again trying to copy and paste what's already been done and stuff like that. Wall is closed until they restore the Snyderverse, Rock, Keaton, yeah, until they bring all that. You remind me of the Spawn comic where the characters creators sold out their IPs to the corporations, and McFarlane said he's never selling Spawn. Yeah, exactly. That's what it is. Like, it's crazy. Like, I recently just found out, I didn't know that McFarlane actually designed and came up with the idea of Venom for Marvel. And I'm like, damn, that could have been your IP. That could have been your character. Who knows what he would have done with it. And now Marvel owns it. That's nuts. And that's the same thing with my IP. I don't plan on selling that. Like straight up. Like I'm not gonna sell out and I'm not gonna sell it. I don't care what corporation comes up to me and be like, yo, we'll give you X amount of money. What do you want to do with it? Nah, I'm gonna keep on doing what I'm gonna do. I don't care. Like that's why I look at how Eastman with the turtles, how they did it. There's that I forgot what it's called. I think I saw it on Netflix. There's an episode of how they started and stuff like that, and it's pretty interesting. I like that type of stuff. How like they straight up came from nothing into what they are today. And then of course they sold to Nickelodeon and things like that, which it's kind of scary because once you have what you created and you sell it to a studio, these studios don't give two damns about it. They're gonna be like, we're gonna milk this and that's it. Yeah, because you're a corporation. Same thing like George Lucas. Once he sold Star Wars, I know he must have regretted it. And he's come out, he said it. He's like, yo, I regret selling it to Disney. Well, you did it. You sold out. That's the point. You sold out. Period. You can't take that back. You know, I don't have a price tag. That's the thing. That's the difference. I don't care how much I'm struggling, suffering, going through. I don't have a price tag. Period. And that's what this industry don't like. They don't like when you stand against that, and they're like, "Damn, you're really giving the fans what they want? Oh no, you're the problem." Nah, hell nah. You corporations are the problem for not giving the fans what they want. They've been wanting this and they've been wanting that, but you refuse to give them what they've been asking for. And for that, you straight up, honestly, you reap what you sow. That's it, you know? Have you seen the 2003 version? Nah, I didn't, but I do have the figures. They're pretty badass. The cartoons, the styles, and I like the designs that they have and stuff. They're very more serious and stuff. I like that. Some fans, Sergeant, what's up? Some fans fear the revival of the Last Night sequel, claiming it's going to be a reboot. But why reboot when Bay should use the chance to continue his film series? Exactly, exactly. That's what they don't like. You know, some of these fans just don't like that, and unfortunately, it's just it's caused a big mess within their brand and stuff like that. Let's see. Hold on. Are you looking forward to the new rated R TMNT movie? Yeah, I want to see that. The Last Ronin or something like that. I'm not familiar with the story. I know some of the turtles are dead and stuff like that, but I want to see what they're gonna do with that. Now, let's not forget. I think that movie is going to be produced by Walter Hamada because he's actually at Paramount, and I want to see what he's gonna do. You know, like I'm gonna be honest. Let's see what he's gonna cook. You know, it's I guess he's producing it and stuff like that. He's not directing it. But I know that he's over there at Paramount right now, so we'll see what's gonna happen with that. Matt Reeves will be scary. Don't do Batman 2. Watch Heat 1995 and Miami Heat. Both were awesome. Yeah, yeah. I gotta. You know what? I haven't seen Miami Vice, the last one that they did, in a while. So that I want to have to see. Those movies are good also. They're also entertaining and stuff like that. Go deep into Unicron being Earth. Yeah, hell yeah, they have to. Like Unicron is the biggest threat in the Transformers IP. You need to focus on that. That's what Hasbro needs to focus on, with Paramount and stuff like that. And like I said yesterday, look, like y'all saw that I uploaded a video talking about Transformers and stuff like that. You're gonna be seeing more content about Transformers and other stuff. I won't be talking that much about DC just because there's not really anything that's like really like catching my attention. But I'll still drop a video here and there, like in the week. So don't worry, I'm still gonna be talking about it. But with the DCEU, not with the DCU. That's what I'm trying to step away from, and I just don't care about it. I'm not trying to give them no type of advertisement whatsoever. I will keep on talking about the Snyderverse, Suicide Squad, restore the Snyderverse, all that good stuff. And I still will keep on talking about Michael Bay, the Bayverse, because that's, like I said, that's what I enjoy, what I like. And I know some of y'all do too. And it's starting to show, like people are starting to see that. And, with these rumors, not only rumors coming out, but you have reports like Variety coming out. You have a comic book cast. You have all these sites talking about it that, yeah, it's happening. Michael Bay's coming back. There's a script that apparently I think either Hasbro or Paramount, they should be getting the scripts or something that they're going to be presented with from Michael Bay so that they can, move forward with whatever it is that they're going to be planning and stuff like that. And I'm all up for it. My wallet is open and I'm ready. I don't care if it's a reboot. I don't care what they do. As long as Michael Bay is still there and he's directing it, besides producing, then the Bayverse continues. That's it. There's no and ifs or but. That's what that is. When people are like, "Oh no, it's not going anywhere." If Michael Bay is directing it, it's back, baby. That's all that matters. That's all that matters. Aren't they making a Ronin movie? Yeah, they're making that. That's the one that I don't know why it's been taking them a while, but production has been kind of real slow with that. I have no idea, but yeah, they're still gonna do something with that. Lots of movies are number one on digital and still a flop. Yep, exactly. Of course, digital, because if they're paying for a streaming service, then people are gonna want that. So it is what it is. I never understood the hate for Bayformers. Yeah, it's just like I said, fake fans, because it's not G1, and that's coming from somebody that also likes, G1, but not everything works with G1. It didn't work with those last three movies. The TMNT could be good. Yeah, I hope so. I really hope so. I mean, Walter Hamada's attached to it, so let's see what the hell happens with that. Honestly, we'll see. We'll see what they cook with that and stuff like that. You saw the first two episodes of Peacemaker. It's a boring as edgy 12-year-old sitcom. Not interested in season two. Yeah, exactly. That's exactly what that is. It's just for, I don't know. I don't even know what the audience is. Like immature and raunchy. What other movies do you like from Michael Bay? Of course, which one is this? Pearl Harbor. That's a badass movie, and it has Ben Affleck. What is it? Well, he didn't direct it, but he did produce the live action, the last TMNT. What else? Bad Boys. Bad Boys is a freaking classic. You know, like those movies are freaking badass. What else that I could think of? Damn, I know there was one that he just did recently, but I didn't see it. It was something about like a. I'm not sure if it was like during the pandemic that it came out. That it was something like that, like a lockdown and stuff like that. I want to check that out. I just be forgetting about it. But yeah, Bad Boys. Bad Boys is still a good movie. I don't care. Y'all can laugh all laugh all y'all want, but those movies still go hard. You know, like they're entertaining. That's all that matters. You know, even if they flop, but they're still entertaining. You know, it's they're just fun movies, I guess. Um, Dubé did the first TMNT. He didn't do it. He just produced them. It was another director, but he did produce both of them, and they were in style because he was having, I guess, creative control, like helping the director when it came out. And that's another thing too. I want to see the third movie to that because they left us on a cliffhanger, you know, with Krang, and they opened the dimension and the portal and all that stuff. So I'm like, yo, we need one more movie of that, and that's it. I'll be good. We don't need no more. Yeah, he didn't direct it. Transformers 1 and 2 are my favorite. Yeah, 1 and 2, 1, 2, and 3 are like that's straight up the best ones, honestly. Um, what is it? Oh, not hell, not Seth Rogen. His movie sucked. I didn't like that movie. That TMNT, I didn't like the designs. That movie was trash. I was like, I only saw it one time. I was like, hell no, never again. Hopefully that crowd doesn't get a part two. Flop usually have a sequel already in the work. What flop don't usually have a sequel already in the works? Yeah, yeah. I see that point of view too. I want Bay back also. Yeah, a lot of people are getting excited about that. You know, because people just want good movies. You know, and when you have these good Transformers movies, people are gonna keep coming back and stuff like that. But with that being said, I want to thank y'all for tuning in, for watching. This is all the time I got for now. But yeah, appreciate y'all for watching. Keep posted. Again, I'm gonna be hitting these drawings all this week. I'll be doing some more drawings tonight. Adding the ink, just trying to finish all this up for y'all so y'all can see some more stuff coming soon. But with that, I'm gonna catch you on the next one. Hey, yeah, you already know it. Appreciate y'all for watching. Restore the Snyderverse, restore the Babers. Y'all already know. And until next time.